we're gonna count down the 5 strangest cults in American history. No, 5 is the People Temple, which was founded in the early 1950s by a man named Jim Jones. Jones was a charismatic leader who attracted a lot of followers, many of them African American. They settled in the town of Jonesboro, Indiana, where they established the People Temple. Jones had a vision for his community, a vision that involved living in a utopian society free from racism and poverty. But this vision quickly turned into a nightmare. Jones became increasingly paranoid and isolated, and he began to use mind control and brainwashing techniques on his followers. He also started having relationships with several women in the group, which caused a lot of tension. In 1978, Jones and his followers moved to Guyana and set up the People's Temple there. Jones continued to manipulate and abuse his followers, and eventually he ordered the murder of several people who had tried to leave the group. On November 18, 1978, Jones orchestrated what became known as the Jonestown Massacre. More than 900 members of the People's Temple, including over 300 children, died as a result of drinking cyanide-laced flavor aid. Only a handful of people survived the massacre, and the event remains one of the most infamous in cult history. Number 4 is the Unification Church, founded by the Reverend Sun Myung Moon. The church was started in South Korea in the 1950s, and it quickly spread to other countries, including the United States. Moon was a controversial figure who claimed to be the Messiah, and he attracted a lot of attention from the media. The Unification Church gained notoriety for its mass weddings, which often featured hundreds of couples being married at the same time. These weddings were designed to promote Moon's teachings about family values and traditional gender roles. But behind the scenes, the Unification Church was a cult-like organization. Members were required to follow a strict code of conduct, and they were not allowed to have any contact with the outside world. Moon's followers were also subjected to intense brainwashing, and they were often cut off from their families and friends. In the 1970s, the Unification Church became involved in a number of bizarre and controversial activities. Members of the church were accused of spying on government officials and celebrities, and they were also involved in a number of business scams. In the 1980s, the Unification Church began to decline in popularity, but it is still active today. No. 3 is the Branch Davidians. This group split off from the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the 1950s, and they were led by a man named Vernon Howell, also known as David Koresh. The Branch Davidians believed that the end of the world was near and that they were being persecuted by the government. In 1993, the FBI raided the Branch Davidian compound in Waco, Texas. The raid was part of an investigation into illegal weapons, but it quickly turned into a standoff when the FBI and the Branch Davidians refused to back down. The standoff lasted for 51 days, and it ended in a deadly fire that killed 76 Branch Davidians, including Koresh. No. 2 is the Manson family. This cult was founded by Charles Manson in the late 1960s. Manson was a charismatic leader who attracted a lot of young, impressionable followers. Most of Manson's followers were women who he manipulated and abused. Manson's plan was to start a race war, and he believed that he would be the one to lead the survivors. In 1969, members of the Manson family committed a series of murders that shocked the nation. The victims included actress Sharon Tate and several other young people. Manson was convicted of first-degree murder, and he spent the rest of his life in prison. And the strangest cult in American history, no. 1. The Process Church of the Final Judgment. This cult was founded in the 1960s by a man named David Berk. Berk was a controversial figure who claimed to be a prophet. He attracted a lot of followers, many of them wealthy and influential people. Berk taught that the end of the world was near and that his followers needed to be prepared. He also taught that he was the second coming of Christ and that his followers needed to obey him. In the 1970s, the Process Church became involved in a number of bizarre and controversial activities. Members of the church were accused of kidnapping people and forcing them to participate in satanic rituals. They were also involved in a number of financial scams. In 1984, David Berk died and the Process Church began to decline, but the group is still active today. Thanks for watching. Do you know of any other strange cults that should have made the list? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.